I'm drawing just a branch of a tree. I wanted to simplify it, so I didn't have the trees behind, just a sort of big thing staring out into the world. I quite like that. I like making things as simple as possible a statement. Although it's quite complicated perhaps creating it, but I like to make it a simplification. And so I get rid of any excesses, get rid of the excess detail in the background. Yeah, I've seen nobody today except for a few bloody birds flying, and they were flying about 100 miles up there, so that's... Oh, there goes something, but that's not human. I think I need to be, I think actually solitary confinement I could actually be quite good at as long as I had a piece of old wood and paints. Well, it's been cold today. It's been quite a nice thing to work in. Easy, isn't it? Anyone can do it. Anybody can do it. It's so easy. Just pick up your paintbrush and off you go. Is that you can make mistakes in oil painting, which you can never really so easily make in watercolour, because all you do is you just wipe it off again if it's not right. So doing watercolour painting is very good training, or doing ink drawing is very good training for oil painting, in the sense that you realise then that oil painting is in many ways an easier media, for the very fact that you can keep painting it and over it. Yesterday I was painting here and it was raining all day, and of course no oil paint, it's a bit of a nuisance in some respects if it goes on your palette, the water, but if it's, you know, you can carry on working in the rain. I did have an umbrella up, and then today, and actually I saw a person yesterday, and I think he must have thought, I wondered if he thought I was a bit crazy. But anyhow, don't worry about it. Today, it's not been raining at all, but I didn't see anybody today at all. But that's all right.
Does your oil painting technique differ from watercolour then?
It's broader. It's broader. And I always think a little bit, it's in between thinking pastel when I'm working and thinking watercolour. It's an in-between phase. I've come to the conclusion. Actually. So it's a sort of in-between. See what I mean? You probably have sort of people coming up telling me how to use oil paint, but I don't care. I don't care. I like to actually paint from my heart, and my heart's not like anybody else's heart. And I don't like painting it in an impressionistic manner. I'm actually painting it more like one of my watercolours. Don't you think? Don't you think it's looking more like a watercolour?
I suppose you'd say it's by the same artist.
That's an achievement. Looks a little bit indecent there, doesn't it?
Georgia O'Keeffe did a clam.
I like Georgia O'Keeffe's work, although I'm not sort of... I think a lot of women like doing close-ups of things, actually.
She did old trees as well.
Oh God, really?
Yes.
Oh God, this is bizarre. I mean, the fact is, the Georgia O'Keeffe, it's very, very weird. Somebody said, oh, your work reminds me of Georgia O'Keeffe. I didn't even know who she was. And so then I went and looked her up, and I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. I think if there's a woman artist I'd like to have met, I would have liked to have met her, because I think she would have been, I could have, yeah, I felt I could have probably have identified rather with her, sort of talked to her about things, and have enjoyed her company.
Using quite small brushes all the time, are you?
Yeah, this is a lovely little brush. I don't know where I got it from there. It is a nice little brush. I think I got it. It's a good little brush. It's only very, very tiny, but it's really nice to work with. This certainly comes easy to me, you can see that. I remember I was teaching a student once, and she said, if you can do, I don't see why you don't just keep painting bits and pieces of trees and wood, because if that's, you know, if you can do that and see those things, you should just do it. And I looked at this woman and I thought, she said, well, most of us don't see anything in those bits of old wood that you bring in. And you see things in them and you make paintings out of them. Well, you should just actually, that's what you should be doing. You should be doing paintings of them. And I looked at this woman and I thought, gosh, I was a bit surprised, because I thought everybody saw things in, you know, I didn't think it was that. Well, I think I've just about finished this painting now. I'm going to do a little bit in back of my studio, because as the light's moved round, it tends to, the colours tend to jump a bit. So I'm going to, you know, a lot of it, I'm just wanting just a little bits of the blue, need a tiny bit of working on. But apart from that, I feel it's finished. And the thing is, when do you know, again, when do you know a painting's finished? If I gave it more and more detail, I think there would be the danger of, you know, that it wouldn't have such a direct impact. And I think that at the moment it is a painting that has quite a strong direct impact on the viewer. And I would like to try and keep it that way. And you can go on and on fussing over a painting, and it can lose its initial punch. As I remember my father, who was an artist, Julia Sorrell, he used to say, you should try and do a painting so it all comes out at one burst. And I think that is quite true. I think that if you over-fuss a painting, there is a danger it can lose that initial energy that one puts into it. And I'm quite conscious of that I felt that this is this thing coming right up, you know, this thing, this branch. But I didn't want it to look sort of, I didn't want it to look so fussy that it actually becomes, it loses, that I say, the initial impact that it had at the beginning.